Real Madrid came calling. The money was bigger. The trophies were guaranteed. Francesco Totti said no. 786 appearances, 307 goals, 24 years, one club. In a sport that rewards departure, one man chose to stay and carry an entire city on his back, earning a title no contract could buy, the Gladiator. But what makes a man turn down everything football can offer? The answer begins on the cobblestone streets of Rome. On September 27, 1976, Francesco Totti was born into the working-class neighborhood of Porta Matronia. Here, in Rome's Ostiense district, childhood was measured in hours spent kicking a ball against ancient plaster walls. For Totti, football was instinctive, a sensory relationship with his home. He began with local amateur clubs, Fortitudo, Trastevere, and the competitive youth side Lodigiani. By 1989, the 13-year-old's talent was undeniable, attracting lucrative offers from northern powerhouse AC Milan and local rivals Lazio. Milan even sent representatives to his home, but his mother, Fiorella, turned them away, insisting her son remain in his city. Sensing the boy's devotion, Roma's youth sector chief, Gildo Giannini, stepped in. Giannini personally secured Totti's transfer to his boyhood club in 1989. Entering the Tregoria Academy felt like a homecoming. He was already a supporter, a child of the southern stands, now wearing the colors of his birthright. Yet, the leap from a promising youth player to the ultimate stage of the Stadio Olimpico required a catalyst, a manager willing to gamble on a boy who had only ever dreamed of the shirt. That manager was Vujadin Boskov. On March 28, 1993, during a Serie A away match against Brescia, the Serbian coach turned to his bench in the 87th minute. He sent 16-year-old Francesco Totti onto the pitch at the Stadio Rigamonti, wearing the number 14 shirt to replace Ruggiero Rizzitelli. Roma secured a 2-0 victory, but the real story was the fearless teenager who played with the composure of a veteran. 17 months later, on September 4, 1994, Totti's promise became concrete. Filling in for the injured striker Abel Balbo in the season opener against Foggia, the 17-year-old wore the number 9 shirt. In the 29th minute, he caught a cleared ball on the edge of the area and struck a low, left-footed shot into the net to secure a 1-1 draw. The Curva Sud recognized him as a phenomenal talent, and more importantly, one of their own. His early vision and passing instinct began to redefine Roma's attack. Yet with this adoration came an underlying pressure. The dreams of a local boy were fast becoming the heavy demands of an entire city, setting up a responsibility he could not yet foresee. On October 31, 1998, 22-year-old Francesco Totti walked into the Roma dressing room and became the youngest captain in Serie A history. The legendary defender Aldair handed over the armband, transforming a local prodigy into a public leader. It was a solemn contract with his home city. Totti's number 10 shirt, once a license for creative freedom, now became an emblem of absolute responsibility. From this moment, victories were no longer simple statistics, but wild communal celebrations, while defeats felt like personal indictments. This bond with Roma made leadership incredibly costly, forcing him to carry the emotional weight of an entire population. It was an institutional burden that extended far beyond 90 minutes on a pitch. His true test would not be surviving a difficult fixture, but enduring the sheer gravity of a city that refused to let him fail. By the summer of 2000, manager Fabio Capello arrived to construct a rigorous tactical system around Rome's young captain. Capello deployed a disciplined 3-4-1-2 formation, placing Totti in the trequartista role, an advanced playmaker operating in the pocket of space between midfield and attack. This positioning gave him the absolute freedom to orchestrate the offense. The campaign became an unstoppable march. Roma secured 75 points from 22 wins, 9 draws, and just 3 losses. Totti led the attack, making 30 league appearances, scoring 13 goals, and delivering 4 assists. On June 17, 2001, an 18-year championship drought ended at a packed Stadio Olimpico against Parma. In the 17th minute, Totti met a loose ball on the edge of the area, striking a fierce, rising shot into the roof of the net. The subsequent 3-1 victory crowned Roma champions of Italy for only the third time in club history. At 24, the local boy had delivered the league title to his people. But this glory was only the beginning. Soon, a sudden physical disaster would threaten to break his body and test his loyalty to the absolute limit. Totti operated on the pitch with an instinctive spatial awareness, executing a style of play that defied traditional tactics. His game was defined by an instantaneous first touch that cushioned erratic passes and immediately bought him time in crowded spaces. His vision materialized through disguised, no-look through balls and sudden changes of direction that left defensive lines stationary. He scored with powerful long-range strikes and delicate chipped finishes that floated over advancing goalkeepers, often using sharp backheels to sustain the momentum of a fast-moving attack. He mastered direct free kicks, bending the ball around defensive walls with precise accuracy. This technical versatility drove a constant positional evolution. He transformed from an attacking midfielder into a clinical second striker, and eventually, a pioneering false nine. He resisted classification as either a midfielder or a forward, choosing instead to occupy the pockets of space others could not see. Yet, this fluid artistry was about to confront a sudden, violent physical test, transforming his creative freedom into a grueling race against time. On February 19, 2006, during a league match against Empoli, a violent tackle shattered Francesco Totti's left fibula and severed his ankle ligaments. With the World Cup in Germany just 109 days away, his career hovered in sudden, agonizing limbo. Surgeons stabilized the joint with a titanium plate and 13 metal screws, initiating a grueling round-the-clock race against his own anatomy. While critics dismissed his chances of recovery, national team manager Marcello Lippi refused to abandon his playmaker, famously declaring that Totti would go to the tournament even with one leg. Against all medical projections, Totti returned to the pitch in May, entering the World Cup squad as a calculated gamble. He played 510 minutes across 7 matches, delivering 4 vital assists and scoring the ice-cold 95th minute penalty against Australia that rescued Italy's campaign. When the Azzurri lifted the trophy in Berlin, Totti was a world champion. Yet as the gold confetti fell, this ultimate international triumph remained merely a secondary chapter to the story of his life. The real test of his soul was waiting back home, where a massive decision about his club future would soon demand an entirely different kind of courage. The peak of global success brought the ultimate temptation. Elite European clubs, most famously Real Madrid, sought to pull Francesco Totti away from his home. Manchester United had previously made a verified €30 million approach, and the potential rewards of leaving were obvious. Vast wealth, a guaranteed collection of European trophies, and a different tier of global celebrity. While rumors constantly swirled regarding exact bids and astronomical fees, the decision transcended financial contracts. It was a matter of identity. Totti made a conscious decision to anchor his entire senior career to a single club, choosing belonging over silverware. He later explained this devotion simply: "Roma is my world. This club and this city have been my life." To understand this commitment is to understand his nickname. When asked about it, Totti remarked, "The gladiator is the most fitting. A warrior always has a place of origin." For him, staying in Rome was an active identity choice rather than a financial outcome. He chose to stay, to endure constant pressure, and to lead. It meant sacrificing individual accolades to carry the heavy, beautiful expectations of an entire city on his shoulders. He was more than a player under contract. He was the living heartbeat of Rome. The choice to remain in Rome forged a path that stretched far beyond the typical lifespan of a modern athlete. By the season from 2016 to 2017, Francesco Totti had spent nearly a quarter of a century in the senior team. The explosive acceleration of his youth had faded, replaced by an elite economy of movement. His late career influence relied on a mastery of timing, positioning, and rapid one-touch passing. He saw spaces before they opened, directing play with the effortless authority of experience. In total, Totti accumulated 786 appearances and scored 307 goals for his only professional club. Across the city, his number 10 shirt became a shared family heirloom. Supporters who had watched a 16-year-old debut in 1993 were now grown adults, bringing their own children to the Stadio Olimpico to witness the same figure. The jersey was no longer just a piece of fabric. It was a bridge between generations of Romans. Yet, the physical reality of 40 was catching up, and the inevitable end of this uninterrupted run began to loom over the capital. On May 28, 2017, against Genoa, Francesco Totti stepped onto the pitch for the last time. After 24 years of senior service, the continuous thread running through his life in his city was about to break. Inside the packed Stadio Olimpico and across the surrounding streets, tens of thousands of supporters shared a moment of quiet, heavy grief. Grown men wept openly, holding their children as they watched the captain take off his armband for the last time. His retirement closed the living relationship between player, club, and city, a bond that had defined Rome for a generation. Totti's legacy remained entirely rooted in his home, a prize that could never be bought, sold, or transferred to another team. He was the living heartbeat of the capital, and his completed career was measured in absolute belonging and a shared communal loss. While Totti's career was forged in this fiery, emotional connection to one home, Italian football also produced a completely different kind of genius. Andrea Pirlo, the maestro, operated with a quiet, elegant control. Pirlo possessed a serene, calculated vision, orchestrating matches from his midfield position with a calm that contrasted Totti's passionate Roman heart. If you enjoy stories about loyalty, sacrifice, and the legendary figures of football history, subscribe for more documentaries. Today, in an era of fleeting transfers and manufactured glory, Totti's choice remains a monument to what football has lost. He proved the ultimate prize isn't forged in gold, but in the devotion of one's own people. Some players win trophies, others become the eternal soul of their city.